Hello everyone and welcome back to Better Than Wolves. So, back in the overworld today, by myself tonight. Got some thinking to do, and I'm going to do some of the thinking on camera and some of it off. I spent a bit of time in the chicken farm off camera the other day, doing something that I think is going to wind up being completely and utterly redundant. What I have here is a very elaborate T-flip-flop based auto-feeding system. And I'm not 100% sure if it's actually needed. So every 5 minutes, this triggers currently a quadruple pulse to these dispensers, bumping seeds out to these chickens. So the missing link here is how to get more seeds into these without me having to micromanage the business constantly. So there's two approaches I can take, both of which require no water, but both of which remain to sort of be seen, and there could be issues with both of them. So one way I could do this would be to have a hopper on top of each of these dispensers, or fewer of these. I could have fewer dispensers. This is one thing. If it's automated, all I have to do is add more ticks and fewer dispensers and problem solved. So let's say we wanted to do 4. Oh, redstone connects to them. Let's say we wanted to do 4 of these. I'm not sure those are going to be the 4 I want to do now that I look at that, because of the way the redstone connects up to them. And I can just see us having hoppers. So let's say we keep these 2, and oh yeah, these ones will be easier to power, won't they? And these 2. And each of these will have seeds dropping into them. So, yeah, I think this might be the way we want to do it. So we have 2, so we'll run an axle downstairs through here, because I think there's power right underneath the floor where this little motes of dust are popping up. Of course, we're between gearboxes right there, aren't we? Very annoying, but that's a separate problem. So what we need to do is we need to have melons drop onto these hoppers and explode into their seeds, because that's a thing that seeds do in Better Than Wolves. Or plants do. Okay, this might not be completely redundant, so let me show you how it works. What we have here, actually, oh yeah, that's the other thing I built off camera. Alright, backing up. I got busy. I should have recorded some of this, but it was not that interesting. I'd rather show you guys the results in this particular case. What we have here is a super compact 5-minute timer. So this is on its slowest setting, and this is loaded completely with 15 of 16 are clear blocks. Thank you for the suggestion that these don't have to be wool. That would have been really aggravating. So 15 different clear blocks, and on the 16th tick, it triggers this redstone with this block right here, which is going to happen in a few moments. One more rotation of the thing. And then in here, so this takes 1 minute to go through this entire cycle at the slowest speed on this turntable. And then these represent our minutes. 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, and 5 minutes. And that 5th minute, there it is. So that, if that was a whole block, that would power this signal of redstone and create a signal that'll go up. And this was really interesting to get it around my pottery turner. Don't worry, I triple checked, it still works. It goes up here, and then it got really complicated because redstone is starting to get really crowded here. This is a monostable circuit that turns the long signal into a short pulse. And this is the part that really caused me a lot of grief. This is a T-flip-flop, a piston T-flip-flop. So this is a pair of sticky pistons. And when the pulse arrives, it toggles this so that this wire here becomes powered. This one right here. Now, yeah, it gets crowded. So when this clicking you hear is just a fast timer controlling the eggs. I just am hatching the eggs as fast as they arrive. So this signal comes up here. So when it is powered, wait, have I got this backwards? I can't remember. Oh. Oh, there's an entirely unrelated issue apparently here. Dang. Just when you think you got it all sorted, you put a redstone signal on top of a non-clear slab. Just a second. So it's this one right here that's causing us the problem, and we just need to move it up one block. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's okay. It was interfering with itself. I screwed up. Oh, that's funny. This thing wasn't even working. Okay, so now that it works, you heard that. That was the feeding system activating. So there we go. That's the way this silly thing is supposed to work. And that'll work just fine. So that's the off signal. So when the redstone torch here is placed, that sends a signal down this little thing right here, which powers down this block right here, which T-flip-flops this back here, which turns off that axle only. Yeah, just a minor mess up. Okay, well, that's been fixed. It's amazing how much of a difference one block makes. So then this triggers a clock, basically allows this clock to activate until this redstone torch sends the pulse back down there, turning off this gearbox again. So that's the basics. I don't think it's the most elegant way to solve it, but it was organic, and I was just thinking to myself that it was a completely stupid solution that was, totally redundant and jazz, but now that I think about it, I think it'll be far more efficient if I do it this way. So we'll probably, once we finish this, we're going to double up these blocks so that we only have to use half as many of these dispensers. So this will go back here like that. So what will happen is these 4 hoppers here will receive pumpkins or watermelons from above here, and they will have to be powered. Now what we need to do here is a quick bit of science. I know I could look this up on the wiki, but I'd much rather do it the fun way. So this roof, totally silly. I'm really bad at finishing projects. I don't have ADD, but it sure feels like it some days. Get the block. Last thing we need is to be trying to feed the chickens wood blocks. So what we need to know is how much higher I need to go to have this function. So how many blocks onto a torch does a torch above a hopper? And that's sort of the critical thing. So here's our hopper. Now I did discover during experimentation that the torch helps it break sooner than it would otherwise. So if we say that's our design, and I know it's at least 5 or 6 blocks, so we'll go 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, experiment number 1 at 6 blocks height. It pops into nothingness. I don't even know if I got an item out of that. Yeah, it just exploded into no object, so we got nothing out of that. So it has to go a little higher. And this is the minimum, of course, we're looking for. So we'll go 2 blocks higher. And we'll drop this one too. Down. Splat. We got seeds everywhere. Except for on top of the spot that we wanted. So that brings the next question. Alright, so the question is, first of all, will it go work at 7 blocks? So if I take 1 off and drop it, doesn't look like it. So I'll put 1 higher. And the second question is, alright, will this even work? Oh, I wonder if this isn't even going to work. If this won't, if it needs somewhere to explode too, which could be interesting. That actually is interesting. Try 1 more. A little higher? No. Okay, so as soon as I put the blocks in around it, it started to fail to explode. That's interesting. I, of course, did a completely stupid thing. That was really dumb. Okay, so next test. Alright, so we know it's 7, or it's 8 then. So let's try something different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so if that is how the explosion works, could we contain it to landing on those two right there and exploding horizontally, in which case it'll be a real pain. But can we induce it to only explode outwards in 2 directions? So can the angle and of the explosion of stuff be controlled, is my question. And is this high enough? It's not high enough. Whoops. Oh, for God's sakes. I keep forgetting. I'm forgetting that it's Minecraft today, let alone Better Than Wolves. I'm just not thinking clearly. I've got a lot on my mind. It's been a busy week. As I mentioned in my Kerbal Space Program video, I've had a bit of a hard week at work with some software that was just completely aggravating. So it really, honestly, it really cut into my recording schedule this week. So if there's a skipped schedule, that is probably why. I'm just running out of time. And as much as, you know, I could rush these episodes, I really can't. It's not easy to... It's a little more work than I had anticipated to plan out all these different episodes for all these different series. I'm probably going to have to discontinue something before long if I'm going to keep up. And it's not going to be Better Than Wolves, I can promise you that. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but we shall see what we shall see. Alright, so that was 7, so this is 8. So let's see what happens with 8. Drop down. It didn't work. That is really weird. Is it just unreliable, or is there something about what I've designed here that isn't agreeing with it? Interesting. Drop it down a couple more. There we go. So the question is, alright, so that worked. Things exploded outwards in all directions and upwards. So that's a lot more. Now, are they just spawning there, or what's going on? I don't know the answer to that yet. Well, we're going to find out. So the first question is, will it actually work in a proper silo? Or am I just barking up the wrong tree for that? I don't know yet. All the things that I do not know the answer to, including how to build how to pillar in Better Than Wolves. Alright, that should do it. So we'll drop a melon there, 10 blocks, and it exploded into nothingness. That is really interesting. And a little annoying. Because what I'm seeing here is suggesting I'm going to need a water stream or something to get these into their stopping point. Welcome back. I have a hypothesis that I just came up with. I had a torch here, and the item, so a falling entity was falling onto a static block. Now normally in Minecraft that causes things to pop apart without any issue, right? But what if that code doesn't exist for pumpkins? What if they just destroyed because they're not falling far enough, so they're not basically exploding like they should? So I did a tiny bit of research. Oh, yeah, you see that one didn't explode. So there's a minimum height, I think, where they explode at 100% reliability. Ouch. Man, I'm going to get myself killed here if I'm not careful. So that is interesting. So all I have to do is make sure that the first level of this farm, it's not nearly as complicated as I thought it was going to be. I just have to make sure the first level of this farm is not going to get me killed in the process here of, you know, falling off of things. Oh my god. Just gotta get to my potions. I almost built something completely and utterly inadvisable here as a result of that failed understanding. Oh, almost to the potions box. There we go. A couple of these. Since I seem to be a complete and utter derp today when it comes to jumping. So I think it's probably about a 15 block height I'm going to have to drop these from minimum. Just based on my hypothesis. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. But that could be off by a bit. But let's see, if I drop this entire stack, will they all explode? Yeah, you see they're exploding reliably. None of them are popping into bits and bobs. It'll be interesting to see if any of them have exploded through the walls this time. I think a couple of them may have, but it's hard to tell. But it's okay, because I can make the walls thicker this time. Okay. Come on, don't bog. Ladders with no guiding. Oh god, lots of them exploded through the wall. Okay, well that's not good. But the good news is they were, you know, at least popping reliably. So how much wound up in here? Oh, about half of it. Okay, well, let me just go get rid of this. I think what I'm going to have to do is build this with double thick walls. So hopefully the odds of them exploding through the walls are really low. And that should do it. So the next thing I need to do is figure out how to harvest pumpkins. And I think I got a really easy solution to that. And it's associated with that click you hear on a regular basis down there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tap the egg hatching system on regular intervals. Maybe once every, you know, I'll use a block dispenser, and once every 5 or 6 clicks we'll send a signal up to the top, maybe even longer than that, maybe for a full cycle. We'll send a signal up to a series of pistons. Yeah. And cause those to, basically the pistons to harvest a stack of pumpkins. Or melon plants. Which will fall down on top of each of these hoppers. And hopefully pop. And due to my space constraints, I'm only going to be able to do 2 stacks of melons on each one. So I'll do one here and one here for this one. And so on. Here and here, here and here. This is how I'm going to have to stack the pistons to make sure that they'll actually be able to operate reliably. And I'll stagger them so that we'll have one at this height, and then the next one at this height, so that I can have them all trigger simultaneously instead of some other weird thing. Anyhow. Oh, my ears are hurting today. It's not good. So, yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug this up, full block there. Plug, because it'll make it easier to work around here. Plug that up with full block. Okay, so what will happen is I have a little something going on down here. This is the other aspect of this. We have pottery. A nice large batch of pottery ready to be fired. And ooh, this is getting full. This is the results of our little endstone trip the other day. And brimstone. Oh yes, there's that other little surprise that I'm going to show you guys. I'll throw a bit of this in the pot and see if you guys can deduce what I've got in the works. Let's see. Need that. You guys figured it out yet? Let's see if you guys can get any... Need another hint? Oh yeah, that's right. I've been relocating it into actual use. That. Anyways, the exact use of... The use I have planned for this will wait until another day, but I just... You guys might be able to take a hint as to what is being manufactured in reasonable quantities now, although not automatically yet. Boom, boom. And the cauldron's to work. It's gonna be fun. But unfortunately not today. Today, what I'm going to do next is cut this recording and see what I can do about getting the tower built and then putting some planters in place for... or testing the initial planter setup. So I will be back when I have constructed something completely insane and wasteful. See you shortly. Welcome back. We have a crazy tower of craziness that has power systems up and running. There's our torch-based redstone distribution system. And now we need to get our planters ready. Yeah, there's our timer going. So planters, I believe, require... Do they require bone meal for the initial? Alright, it's definitely 3x3 crafting. What was it you needed? You need dirt. I think it's a shaped crafting. Dirt? Bone meal? No. Bone meal first? Yes, there we go. So it is shaped. Alright, so there's 6 to start. There's more than cooking downstairs, but this is just the prototyping phase. I suppose it would be sensible to go upstairs with the seeds for the actual plants I want to put in. Which I have 2 stacks of in my inventory right now. Don't mind me, I'm losing my mind. Okay. So if this is height 16, that means we can actually go down by 1 on the first planter. So the planter can go here and here. Actually, I think you could even go 1 lower now that I think about it. We're here. Let's just do it the way I'm sure it's going to work. So, except I've got this slightly backwards, because here's what's got to happen. The planter needs to be offset by 1. Like so. So the planter goes there, and the planter goes here, because I like symmetry. Alright. And then a dirt block goes here, and a dirt block goes here. And those are the only viable places where a pumpkin can grow. They can only grow on, or in this case a melon, they can only grow on dirt or grass, I believe. But we're going to enclose it in just to make sure. And then we need a piston here and a piston here. Whoops. Yeah, exactly, like that. Except that's way too fast. I'm going to have to cut that down even further. Ooh, that does not like being next to a torch like that. Let's just make that redstone dust. That should make this work just a little better. Other thing I could do would be to... Ooh, that's a big hole in the ground. Okay, let's just go down 1. We'll take that one out, and we'll make this one power our first dust in the chain of dusting, so that it's a little tidier. And that will come out... Alright, I did plant them. Okay, good. That will come out the back by 1 like this. I think that will... might not. Right, no, it's got to be... I got to adjust this a little more. That becomes this like that, and then goes up like that. Right, of course, the signal was inverted. So that'll have the right inversion now. And we'll do the rest of it with wood, because it'll look nicer. That goes there. And then we go up one, like that. And I'll have to figure out if I'm going to have to... Okay, so that means every handful of ticks, these pistons should trigger. And then to shorten our redstone length, we'll do the second set of plants on this side rather than the other side. Yep, okay, that sounds good. I like that sound. That is the sound of success. So if we do it this way, then we put our first planter here, and our first planter here. Dirt blocks there and there. And redstone to hook up the pistons. Although I'm not sure I want to take it through there because that could complicate... Actually, no, that is perfect because... We'll do it this way. We'll see how complicated this gets here in a minute. So there's our first one. Now comes the interesting part. Our second planter goes here, and dirt block goes there. And our second planter goes here, and our dirt block goes there. And then our pistons go here and here, respectively. And this is the part I hadn't quite sorted out as well as I would have liked, but I think this is actually going to work out very nicely if there's enough signal strength. Did I bring any more wood? I did not. That's okay. This is Proto Day. And then what we do is we build the next layer on top of this one. Oh, yeah, that worked. Now, because that doesn't have to be tilled soil to work. Oh, and then just to round this out, this goes right here. Hold on. Wait, what have I got off here? I'm off just a bit. Where did I go off a little? Oh, okay. I knew there was going to be a problem here. Because this is the dirt block. And the planter goes there, and this is the dirt block, and the planter goes there, which means this has to be relocated a bit. We need designs that allow for everything to work properly, because the next piston has to go, yeah, it has to go right. Ooh, that could work. I have an idea. Here. Piston right there. Now where's this relative? I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Piston there, and piston right above where I put my ladder to get down. Genius. We'll fix that in a bit. We'll come up. Well, somewhere. I'll relocate that whole ladder. The point being, these pistons, actually, this could work. So if the planter is there and the planter is here, that's the problem. We need to go that way and that way. Just use dirt for a minute here. And that way and that way. Now these things aren't going to have sun, which is going to be a minor problem I'm going to have to sort out. So then I should have to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, do. Okay. So then we mirror it back over on the other side on the next floor, and we use torches to kind of... Good. That's perfect. And we'll put some delay on the next ones up. I mean, ideally we'd delay the whole thing, but it's going to just get to be too much. But with it'll be a 2 torch delay, because what we'll do is we will... Okay, exact details to be determined in a little while. Right now, I need to give these some time to grow and see if my hypothesis works out the way I had expected. And looking at the hour of the evening, I may not get to bring you guys back in to see how this ends today, but hopefully, hopefully we will be able to append something on that will give you guys some idea of how successful this initial prototype was. And in the meantime, I'm going to go fill that stupid chicken farm back up again and determine if it's actually feeding them. Are you feeding them, or are you just... Let's see. Oh, and right, here's the... I need 3 more gearboxes. 14. I have no idea how much of that is due to my meddling and how much of that is due to the thing actually working, but I need more blocks in here. So we got 3. We need 4, 5. We'll do 5. 6. We'll do 6 feedings for now, and there's our torch. Actually, that might even be 7. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. That'll be 7 cycles. Let's try that on for size. Looking good. I could slow this down even more as well. Like so. And, oh, I could use a dirt slab. And I could use packed earth. And I could use a packed earth slab. Like so. So we can use dirt slab, packed earth, no cobble block on me, but I could fix that really quick here. But this is all just fiddling around at this stage. I think we will just call it a day. Thank you all very much for watching. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.